where I said, what are they standing on right now, the Democratic Party? What? Their jobs record? It's abysmal. Obamacare's reform? Folks, it had two metrics: cut costs, expand coverage. It has done neither. Their education policy? We have pumped more and more money into the education bureaucracy and have got nothing on the results side. What is fair or compassionate about that? That is a world of intentions, not a world of results. Folks, we need better jobs. We need higher wages, and we need more opportunity. And higher taxes and bigger government are not the solution. Folks, here in Maryland, we have a wind tax. We have a rain tax. We have a growing income tax. We have a flush tax. How many more what else is next? A sun tax? A cloud tax? At what point do you say, you know, folks, I worship this state. The Catoctin Mountains, the Bay. There is no better place on earth. Annapolis. We are a wonderful place to live in. Don't conflate poor governing with a poor place to live. But at some point, they have to say enough is enough. When is the solution forward not more money out of your wallet? How are we seriously taxing rain? It sounds funny because it is. Today, we're probably spending a fortune. Yeah, the government's making a lot today. Folks, that's why a lot of our fellow citizens are leaving Maryland. Inexcusable. You know, if you came to this state and had no idea what the tax rates were not really politically active, and just needed a place to stay, you could occupy yourself for decades. There are not enough corners of this state for you to fulfill your enjoyment factor. I traveled around the state in this Senate campaign, and there were pockets of people everywhere, and little, you know, I remember with Mark, remember the iron furnace out in Lonaconee, the MVP statue in the library. I mean, did you even know that was there? We don't have that everywhere, but you have it here, and we're losing it. How is Maryland losing people? How? Folks, that's unforgivable, literally unforgivable. It's time to make Maryland home again. That was our slogan. You know, it's tough in politics, developing slogans. It really is, because you know what you want to say, but as I always tell folks, if you can't fit your message on a Wheaties box, you're losing. Because a lot of people are busy in their lives, and they don't have the time to really understand every single nuance. But when that came up, that was it. I knew right there. Making Maryland home again. That was it. Because everybody here I've spoken to, and frankly, a lot of Democrats who supported us and libertarians, they said, this is my home. And every one of them was upset that they felt they had to go. No one ever said to me, I want to go. They felt they had to go. I know Judd and Mary are out in Talbot County. Look at Talbot County. They should be absolutely swimming in tax dollars. Should be one of the richest counties of the state. It's not. You know why? All the wealthy people there spend 51% of their time somewhere else. Unforgivable. Folks, we can fix this in a number of ways. First is our tax policy. If your tax policy, any plan you're putting forward on the Democrat side, does not have growth and jobs first, I will never, ever support it. If the sole purpose of your tax policy is an expansion of the government wallet at your expense, you will never have a supporter in me. There are solutions out there that are bipartisan on both sides. There's not a person in this room that would stand up with a straight face and say that our tax code is not convoluted, 70,000 pages long, and weighted towards every cronyist in D.C. That is not freedom or liberty. That is cronyism. It's the guy with the biggest K Street lobby that gets to go in there and gets his tax cut while you get hurt. That is not capitalism, freedom, or economic liberty. There are a number of solutions out there for flatter tax codes, a fair tax based on consumption habits, not based on taxing your income or your work. But this is not the way forward. What was bumping the income tax going to do? You're just going to lose revenue. You're not going to gain it. Second, we have to make education a national priority. A national priority. And a lot of folks will tell you, we fired a lot of consultants in the last campaigns. I never listened to them. I tend to go with my heart, and I think people appreciated that. But folks, how do you explain this one away? That in a country of 22,000 high schools, and only 2,000 are responsible for half the dropouts. And if you happen to be black, you have a 50% chance of sending your kid to one of those schools. How do all of us look at each other and explain that one away? How? The answer is you can't. There are two Americas, make no mistake. And those poor folks who have to send those kids to those schools don't live in the same America you and I do. That is unforgivable in the richest country on earth, and that needs to change. We have a Department of Education that's focused solely on growing its $50 billion bureaucracy and not on the people who really need help. We can't allow that to stand, folks. Sorry, that's a passionate topic for being a product of it. Third, we have to repeal Obamacare. Amen. Folks, there is nothing compassionate about this program, folks. There are Democrats as well that are leaving in droves. Unions are moving against it. People are organizing against it right now. Folks, we have no choice. It has met none of the standards it set forth. None. We cannot go forward with a healthcare system that is going to empower boards like the IPAB, the Independent Payments Advisory Board, the PST, Preventative Services Task Force, these boards to take your healthcare, yours, away from you and put it in their hands. If you think for a second that is going to empower you and give you control over your healthcare decisions, you are wrong. History will show you are wrong. This program is a disaster, but there is a but here. We as Republicans have an obligation to put forth a positive solution forward. Saying Obamacare is bad is not a prescription forward. That is what's called whining. Fix it. We have a number of solutions forward, folks. Thank you. But those solutions all involve you controlling your health care. I was a member of the Federal Employees Health Benefits Program as a Secret Service agent. It was a great program, folks. It was a government program. But you know why the government program worked? Because the government didn't control it. You did. They gave you a booklet of high-quality private insurance plans and said, you pick. That was it. The program is consistently rated as one of the best programs in the entire federal government. It rarely, if ever, gets negative reviews. Because you pick. The locus of control is with you, not with a bureaucrat. Folks, they're good people who work in government. I work with them. It's not their fault that government is out of touch. It has to be out of touch. It does not touch you. It is not in your house. It doesn't eat with your family. It doesn't know what Dave needs or Dick needs. It doesn't know. It's not its fault. It just is. That is why individual choice and economic liberty and healthcare liberty has always worked. Because you know what's best for you, not them. Folks, if we can fix our tax code, really reform the education system, not just talk about it, and replace Obamacare with a real healthcare solution, this country is ready to explode. We are on the verge right now, folks, of tremendous breakthroughs in gene therapy, medical technology, 3D printing, hydraulic fracturing and energy development. We are floating on a sea of energy. This country is ready to explode. At 7% growth over 10 years, your real income, the real money, not inflation adjusted, would double in 10 years. The average salary is about $45,000 in America. It would be 90. We can do it. We can do it. We have done it. The future is bright. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I want to conclude with this thought. This is our home. Ours. It's not theirs. And when I say they, I'm referring to the bureaucracy in Annapolis and our representatives up on the Hill. This is not a 7-1 state. We have 8 representatives in Congress. Are you going to tell me with a straight face that 7 of them represent 7/8 of Maryland? Seriously, folks. You know, we're entitled to a say in this. This is our state, too. Sometimes you read these op-ed pieces where people act like you're to be ruled and not governed. This is a representative democracy, not an oligarchy. This is not a 7-1 state. And frankly, John Delaney has no business sitting in that seat.